The Little Lantern and the Moonlit Path. Once upon a time, in a little village tucked between the mountains, there lived an old lantern. It wasn't like the big, bright lanterns you see in shops today. Oh no. This lantern was small, with a soft glow that shimmered in the dark like a firefly's light. It lived on the windowsill of a cozy cottage, beside a grandmother who would sit by the fire, knitting stories into the very air. Now, this lantern wasn't just any lantern. It had a secret. You see, every night when the moon rose high in the sky, the lantern would glow a little brighter, casting a warm light down the narrow cobblestone path that led into the woods. One crisp autumn evening, a little boy named Eli came to visit the cottage. His shoes were worn from running through the fields, and his cheeks were rosy from the cool night air. He looked up at the lantern and asked, "Granny, why does the lantern glow so bright at night?" The grandmother smiled softly, her eyes twinkling like the stars. "Ah, my dear, that lantern was made by the very first stars. It was given the gift to light the way for anyone who needed help finding their way through the dark. And every time the moon is full, the lantern knows it's time to guide someone lost." Eli's eyes grew wide. "But who would be lost on such a beautiful night?" he asked. The grandmother chuckled and patted his head. "Sometimes, dear, even the bravest people can feel lost. They may not be lost on the outside, but their hearts might feel like they're stumbling around in the dark." Eli didn't quite understand, but he nodded, knowing there was wisdom in the way Granny spoke. That night he lay in bed, listening to the wind rustle the leaves outside. He couldn't help but wonder about the lantern's magic. As he drifted into sleep, he dreamed of a little rabbit lost in the woods. The rabbit hopped this way and that, unsure of which way to go. But then, just as he was about to give up, a soft glow appeared in the distance. It was the lantern shining its gentle light. The rabbit followed the glow, hopping along the path until he found his way home. Eli woke with a start, the dream still fresh in his mind. He smiled, feeling comforted, as if something gentle was watching over him. He looked at the window where the lantern still sat, glowing softly in the moonlight, as if waiting to help anyone who might need it. And from that night on, whenever Eli felt lost, whether it was in the woods or in his own heart, he would think of the little lantern, glowing softly in the distance, guiding him home. And so, my dear, remember, no matter how dark the night may seem, there's always a light somewhere to guide you back to where you belong. Sometimes it's right in front of you, in the glow of a kind word, or in the whisper of the wind, or even in your own heart, just waiting to lead you through.